much as possible. And I know this is a big game, but again, for us, we're just trying to stay 1-0 throughout this week, trying to get the best week of practice in, get the best week or best days, learn and improve in every single day that we're out here, and then just go 1-0 on Saturday. So that's what we're more worried about, is just winning that game.
You talk about the process of you need to believe that you can win the game at the beginning of the week. Where did you kind of develop that mindset?
We actually had Mike Hayes came into the team talking to us, when he sat with the leadership group, talked about his leadership style in the Navy, and he kind of talked about just the broad scheme of just relationships with your teammates and how it is being a Navy SEAL when you're having to work with others and then also lead a team like that. And one of the things that he always kind of talked about when you're doing that Navy SEAL training is when people said, I believe 99% of the time, or 99% that I'm going to make it through this. There's that 1% of doubt, and he kind of just kept on talking about, don't leave any doubt out there. Have 100% belief that you're going to win. Have 100% belief that you're going to achieve something, and your mind will automatically start kind of putting things in the right direction for you to be successful.
When was that?
He talked to us last week during our bye week. But I mean, that's just something that I always try to just believe in general. It's just you got to have that belief before it can actually happen. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in the guys around you, you kind of start thinking in more of a negative way, and those things are going to pull back on you.
When you have a game this big, people and I were talking about it. You can tell by the amount of media members that are here. Does any of that big game, this is the biggest game in Kinnick since X, does that make it into the locker room? Does that trickle into your head at all? And if so, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't think it really trickles into the locker room that much because, there's be some times where it happens, I feel like every year, or even sometimes almost every week, that the next one's the biggest one. And that's how it always is, After the game on Saturday, the next one's going to be the USC game's going to be the biggest one, as long as this thing keeps progressing. So I don't think that really trickles in. We just kind of focus on what we got right now, try to live in the present, go 1-0 this week, and leave it at that.
Did you catch big noon kickoff this weekend?
The one thing I did see was that I got number one named by Rob Gronkowski. That was the one thing I thought was really funny.
What are your thoughts on winning such an honor?
It was a great honor. I've been a big fan of Rob Gronkowski. I've been called after him. For all my life, so it's kind of cool to get a little bit of recognition from him.
And then Coach Lester last week talked about you going in and out of plays, going to the second play in the huddle, and then going back to the first play. When did you get comfortable playing that chess match with the defense, where you're going in and out of a play depending on what they're showing you?
Yeah, it actually. That's one of the most fun parts about being a quarterback is trying to put your team into the best position possible. And when the other team is trying to kind of play with you a little bit, you can kind of switch it right back on them, and they may not even know what you're doing. So it adds just a different element, a different wrinkle to our offense, and it puts a lot more on my shoulders. But I enjoy that, and I enjoy the learning aspect, the thought process aspect of the game, and not just the physical aspect.
How's your knee?
It feels good. Again, it was another week of improvement. I didn't practice a whole lot last week, just trying to rest up and improve in the training room. It's another week of improvement, another week of feeling better than I did the week prior.
What would you say percent-wise you are now?
I don't know if there is a certain percentage I could say, but it's really just I feel better than I did the week prior. I feel better than the last game.
Are you still living in the training room though?
Still living in the training room as much as I can. Last week, the trainers got a couple days off. I got a couple days off. Just getting away from football during the bye week, and that felt good. But now we're back at it. So
obviously, rest and rehab is important when you guys have a bye week to be able to get yourself away from football and clear your mind a little bit. But how do you guys keep momentum going when you had that 3-0 stretch, and then obviously you're not practicing as much? So how do you take a little bit of a mandatory pause and kind of overcome that so you can keep steamrolling what you guys did the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, part of it. We stay mentally sharp throughout that week. We're always meeting. We're still going over all the plays that we're going to be running, and even for me, I was starting to get some Oregon film watching in just so I can be sharp heading into this week. But really, when we came back on Sunday, we had a walkthrough, and we wanted to be extra sharp and be locked in and focused. And when everyone came back, we were ready to go, and it looked like we didn't even miss a step from the prior week. So I felt pretty good about where our team is and how the focus has been this week, and we're going to hopefully just keep this thing rolling for the rest of the year.